pay for. Sorry, I'm kind of lost my point. Oh my God. Okay, bad case. Okay. So what?
No, that's good in terms of I feel like you're getting back to the fairness.
Right. Yeah. So I was like, sort of want to mention about the fairness and equality thing. So maybe if a rich person, he got rid of the fines or penalties, but is it fair for the rich person or a person with more advantages to lose more than a ordinary person who has less advantages? Is it fair to him, like, to lose more, or is it fair to everyone else that no matter what their social status is, they got the same punishment, they lose the same amount of money or reputation? Is that fair to them, or how do we, how is this like just a thing I want to mention so everyone can think about it?
That's a great point.
That's exactly what I want to say. So I just want to say for this case, this could in this case there is a difference in equality and fairness. So based on the law, even though he is a celebrity and with power, it's hard to escape the law. The law is the law, and everyone has to obey it, and they have to pay the same price no matter what. According to their behavior. But why we feel so bad about this? That is because we feel it is unfair, right? So just as you mentioned, equality is easy to measure. Like everyone is on this, it start from the same point, and they have the same. We share the same measurement, and we have the same penalty, right? But fairness is that we even though we start at the same point, we can end and at the different level. So in this case, Zhu Jun is a famous celebrity, and he can use his resource and power to maybe make the biggest use of his how to say his right in within the frame of the law, and that makes people feel. Even it is equality, since the law has the tolerance, like there's a validation of what is called litigation, right? Like you have a period that you can manage or deal with people in this case, and but for ordinary people, they have less source and power or money or time, to deal with the person in the case, and that make people feel that like they are treated in equality. So in this case, I think it is equality, but it's not fair. So that's the difference between equality and fairness.
So if you are the girl in this case, and as you guys mentioned that the host has higher social status and more power, so are you going to accuse the host? Because in this case, the girl is the intern at the CCTV. Yeah. Are you going to?
I may not accuse you because you consider the twice they accuse the first of all, I'm the CCTV intern. So if I want to continue my career in the media industry, Zhu Jun is a celebrity. So it can have a better. I mean, it can have a. If I accuse him, he may have maybe will like.
No media will hire him.
Yes, that's a point. That's a very actual one. And second, I think that there are like potential transaction. If I accuse him, there are like it is very possible that I may not lose the case and I get nothing. But if I choose not to sue him, I can ask for some other compensation for me. Yeah, I think it's true. It's true that most of
So
lots
do
of
you mean
people.
that you may settlement, you may settle with the host privately rather than accusing in court.
Yeah.
Because you think that's more
I think the society,
reasonable?
the society is, society have the different classes. So the celebrity have better reputation because they contribute more to the society. Right. I think that's the point. And as an intern, I'm just an intern. I didn't make less contribution to the society. So if the children do something to me, I mean, yeah, it's very hard for the lower class, the people from the lower class to have a very fair outcome, like against with the people of celebrity or the people from the upper class.
So you are trading off.
Yeah, so I need to consider the consequences.
So,
of this.
just to add on to that, on the personal settlement aspect, I think it's not just the individuals, but so Uber has been accused of several sexual harassment charges on their own employees, and what they have been doing in the past is that to avoid any negative PR in the market, they actually have settled these matters out of court. And now when it comes out in the market that they have done these kind of things in the past, that's not very much ethical on their part. In an ideal situation, there should have been a court proceeding, and the person who was harassed should have actually filed a court case. On the other hand, Uber was, I think, smart enough to avoid any sort of legal proceedings, and they went in this way that they tried to go for a private settlement. Now, if you talk about is this the most ethical way to do it, that's again like a gray area, and I don't really agree whether this is the most ethical way to do and basically handle these kind of charges. But again, I think what is critical to understand here is that the person who is the victim, he is generally under a lot of pressure by organizations, or let's say in this case by the accused. He's a very powerful guy, he has a lot of contacts everywhere, but I think it's very critical to understand that the person who is the victim should actually stand up for his or her own rights and then stay with that particular intention of bringing the accused to the court and basically fight with the law and then take it forward.
I think, yeah, right. But considering that I was just an intern, if I really want to pursue the dream, I will when I'm stronger or when I contribute more to the society, when I become like someone like student, I will you are in the same position of the society, so you can have more chance to win the cause.
Then you will always be an intern.
Sorry?
So you may be, so that's maybe why you are always being an intern.
Why?
Because it's clear from some other classmates.
Yeah, it's not right. I think people should not be evaluated based on their contribution to the society. You are a person. You are a human person. Then you make contribution to the society. You are not judged on. The fairness about based on your contribution to society. You should be responsible for yourself first, then be responsible for society after.
记得。
I think I kind of agree with her idea, whatever effort you do to this society doesn't make you a valuable person, because the value of life, we're saying any individuals is basically equal. But also about the previous argument, I think the damage to one celebrity is divided, not only limited by the by legal penalty he's going to get. Like we said, you also have the fame that he's as a celebrity, I mean, if you got convicted by a sexual misconduct that probably ruined your entire career life, even though this conviction may be false. I mean, in my point of view, actually celebrity are relatively, how can I say, the vulnerable toward these charges, I would say, put it out.
So I have a very good point I want to bring about. So I think we couldn't talk about social conscious without talking about the society we're in. So the case should be completely different from between China and US, because think about the ideology of the country. Like, we are a socialism country, right? The definition, so for socialism country, we value fairness over equality. That's what we did before, like when we were having cultural revolution, those kind of things. But in America, people actually value equality over fairness. So that's why the Harvard case aroused many discussion. So because Harvard value fairness instead of equality. But in China, we are doing all the time, but we haven't thought about it, because like the Gaokao, we have the university entrance test. We are having actually we are having fairness, right? Because in different provinces, we have different scores to get into the university, but we don't talk about it. So I think ideology is an important thing to discuss, because we in different social settings we have different social conscious, basically.
Actually, I think it's the same like worldwide, because for the U.S. case, for the Harvey Winston, do you know this guy?
Yeah, Harvey Weinstein. Yeah.
It's a very famous sexual.
Yes.
Yes, like people. One of the a lot of like celebrities, like models and singers, accuse him for sexual assault. But when they are not famous, like maybe it's because Gao Yang had mentioned, because people want to trade something for, and after they become famous, they think now they have rights to accuse him. But like for me, if I'm the girl in Zhu Jun's case, I will accuse him because it is my right, and I have to accuse him, because lots of people have stayed silent because they are afraid of the power. And so I think it is one of the reasons why celebrities are afraid of doing sexual misconduct or harassment.
Yes, and this is the key point that I want to mention, is the famous people always have like higher social support, power. Okay, so let's move on to the next dilemma. Well, we all have a very good participation along the previous case, but now I will like introduce like more realistic case. It's between like ordinary and homeless people. We all see the homeless people around the street, right? In the Washington DC or other city. And probably we all know that many countries have a situation of the gap between the poverty and the rich. People assume rich people have like more higher morality. For example, a person will grab as $1 help, and probably I will like consider and hesitate whether to give this $1 help. But if I'm waiting in line, the person next to me is like wearing a suit. He probably need another $1 to help, but I will not hesitate to offer him $1 help. So after then, I will introduce other case. It's about whether to helping the homeless people. But we will make a poll. So please bring out your electronic devices. We are going to do a poll. I think it's open now. Anyone try it?
It's open. It's open.
It's open.
Yeah.
Does anybody like everybody like finish?
No, just.
Anyone needs more time on the poll or all finished? Okay, let's see the result. Before we see the result, I want to sorry. Before we see the result, I want does anyone have like opinion to discuss first?
Let's just see the
Those who
result
vote
first.
yes? Or
No, we'd like to hear the opinions from both sides before you see the results, so you won't be influenced by the domain opinion.
I think it's not a yes and no question. It depends on my mood that day. Right?
Well, for me, I do have a very personal experience from this. When I was like probably 12 or 13, I was on the metro in Beijing, and before that day, I would always give money to a homeless person, like whenever I see one. But then on the metro, I was on the first or the last train on the metro, and then I see one guy who was supposed to be crippled, and then begging for money, asking for help, and then he just stood up as a beggar or a homeless person. He just like stood up, and I just realized that he was just pretending to be crippled or disabled, and then I was young, so my opinion was kind of formed on that day. I just got very distrusting about any people who are just asking for money. So that's just like my personal experience.
So you vote for yes?
Yeah, no, I vote no. So I won't be.
Anyone from the yes side wants to say something?
Yeah, I will vote for yes because I know there are some cases like what I said. There are some people who pretend to be a homeless and they beg for money. But even there are 30–40% of people that do that, there are still 60 or 70% they really need help. So each time when I see a homeless people, I will give them money as I can. So I will help as much as I can. So I vote yes.
Let's take a look at the results now. I think someone did not vote. So the total is not right.
We count.
We count the numbers.
The next question.
Yeah, so after seeing this result, anybody want to add some opinion to this problem? Yes, please.
I think for me, it really depends. If the homeless person is disabled, I will give money. Otherwise, I won't, because I think it's hard for disabled people to find a job. But anyone is like normal, like able person, if you really want a job, you can find a job anywhere to get a living with it. And once you're willing to give money to those normal people, they will think like they can make a living on the begging instead of working. So it really depends on the situation for me.
I think the question is not about whether they're disabled or not. Basically, even if you're not disabled, sometimes you don't have the social structure or the social support to be able to find a job and sustain a job. But even if you're disabled, of course, I'm not trying to disadvantage them. But even if you are disabled, there are lots of companies who give preference to disabled people while they're hiring. So it's not that they cannot find a job.
It's nice you have all other opinions, but just keep it and let's move to the next scenario. I promise you won't be disappointed.
It's a similar problem, but the difference.
anyone needs more time?
I don't understand is that still the?
Yeah, the same homeless people, just that there is a food store nearby, so would you rather give him or her the money, or you would like to get some food, or you just leave?
So we're assuming that this person is asking you for money to buy food, right? Or
He's
otherwise-
asking money.
Just asking money or
Asking for
asking
help, yeah. Finish? Okay. Wow. Can we hear from the Just Leave group first? Because it's the same. It seems like a big change here.
So, I mean, if the person is just asking for money, he's not specifically asking for money to buy food because he's super hungry or whatever, I wouldn't, I'll probably just leave. I mean, if you're hungry, I'll buy you food. I mean, I have no problem for buying people food, but if he's just asking for money, maybe for buying alcohol or buying cigarettes, I mean, why would you buy him a sandwich if he doesn't want that?
Any other opinion?
Yeah. This time I won't just leave because I don't like sandwich. So when they really ask me for money, I will give them money. But if they just want to ask me for help, I will not just buy a sandwich for them.
One of my friends offered pizza for the homeless people, person, and he rejected because he didn't like pizza. I don't know why I vote for the buy a sandwich, but I think.
You probably more for sandwich.
And I kind of.
This is just an assumption because sandwich stands for kind of food.
Yeah, no. What I mean is, maybe they are more richer than you sometimes, the homeless people, but they are just pretend they are homeless. Yeah.
So I voted for A, give the money, because I would like to help him or her because in the condition if my life isn't affected. So if I buy the sandwich for him or her, I will waste my time. So I would rather just give the money and so I can help others without affecting my life too.
So you're giving more preference to time over money?
No. That's not what I mean. What I mean is I don't want my life gets affected by doing good things to others. And
so you just want to be as convenient as you can.
Yeah, as convenient as I can, and probably I can help him or her because small money to him might be a huge thing.
Actually, just the point I want to point for, because I think here the sandwich just represents the product or the good the person needs. Because you don't know, like, he or she's really homeless, but I want to offer help, but the only thing she or he needs, but give the money, you don't know where the money is gonna stand for. So I would want to offer the actual things they need, but not only money.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. So I hope you will hear that comment and please keep that in mind. And we are moving to the third scenario now. It's very similar for another scenario.
So we are expecting like everybody should participate and vote. So
The second time is actually for participating.
sorry?
The second round we had people voted, the total number is correct.
That's great. Yeah.
Anybody need more time on this? Okay, we'll see the result. I think someone did not vote. this time, why don't we start from the A group?
So I don't think everybody has voted again, right?
No, this is actually.
This is all people, 17.
Oh, 17 is it?
Because we 14 not the vote for any.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to give the money even though I know that they might be addicted to drugs and alcohol. And that's because we cannot assume what they need. We cannot assume that they want food right now. Maybe they are already eating the food. And there might be other things that they need. Like for example, they might need blankets or whatever. So for that they will need the money. So by not giving them money, by only giving them food, we are not really helping them much. So obviously there is a probability that he might use it for drugs and alcohol, but then at the end of the day, it's the responsibility of that person to be mature enough not to waste money on that.
So you prefer helping the wrong people than not helping the right people?
Sorry?
So you prefer helping the wrong people?
The wrong people?
Yeah, the wrong people who are addicted to drug or alcohol?
You cannot assume that everyone is addicted to drugs and alcohol. So obviously there will be a percentage that is addicted to drugs and alcohol, but you would never know that. So that does not mean that the people who are not addicted to drugs and alcohol don't deserve our help, right?
What about the other yes person? Do you want to say something?
Yeah, I think the homeless people, even though they are, just, in my opinion, is close to Ashish, and even though they are, I heard their rumor that they are addicted to drug and alcohol, but they are still sometimes they need real help. So I cannot judge that this time they ask me for money is for the alcohol drug or for the real food or they need a place to stay. So I will just give them the money.
Okay. So what about the sandwich people? Yes.
So I voted for sandwich for both questions because my dilemma is I want to help people, but I know some people are addicted to drugs or alcohol, and some might even, pretended to be crippled, might be richer than me. It's possible. But I do want to help somebody who really needs help. So what I'll do is I give food. I don't give money, so they can't use the food to buy drugs or alcohol. So that solves my problem, and I help people.
Yeah, that's a good balance. Any other people in the sandwich group want to share opinions? Okay, let's just listen to the majority group, just leave.
Okay, so I just want to clarify, by choosing just leave, it doesn't mean we don't want to help. Like, it's not, well, we can't, well, there are other ways to help other than giving money or buying a sandwich. So by choosing just leave, it doesn't mean we don't want to help. It's just like giving money directly to this person or buying a sandwich he or she might not need. It's probably, we could probably use this money to actually donate it to another organization that can help, actually help these homeless people or disabled people who are asking for money. In this way, there might be a better choice for them or a better option for them, other than just using the money to buy drugs or alcohol, that kind of thing.
I choose just leave for all these three questions, but it doesn't mean I don't want to help, because I think if I give a person like $5 to $10, it might help him to buy a meal for 1 meal, and he gets through today, but it won't help him in the long term. And I think there are more and more homeless people, and I can't offer $5 whenever I make mine, because I think it's better to raise money for it, like a non-profit organization to help the other society's people, rather than you give money to one person and it might be some people that don't really need help, they may just pretend to be homeless, and I think that's the way to help the long-term social problem.
Okay, that's a good point.
I noticed an interesting thing that when I walk along the street and I see those homeless people, I see them their money. But in China, there is a platform called 轻松筹. People who have serious illness and who needs money will save their requirements in the website and cost more money. One interesting thing that with the hospital's document to prove their serious illness, they can quickly raise the money they want. So I think people have the sympathy. They truly want to help the people who are really in need. So they just they need a proof.
Thank you for the opinions, and yeah, this case is kind of controversial. Otherwise, it won't be called a dilemma. And
with like some social conscious is very complicated. Like with additional information provided, the decision that shown on the screen like may change immediately. So we cannot to make a decision from only one perspective. So let's move on to our main course, like a DuPont case.
Yeah, so after those dilemma practice and discussion, I believe you now have a deeper understanding toward the social conscious. And so let's move to the core courses for our course, which is the DuPont case. And last week we actually discussed some about the DuPont case from the personal integrity perspective. So this week we'll discuss this case again, but from the perspective of social conscious. And okay. So our first question for the DuPont case is, if you are below, which is the lawyer, who in the law firm that represents big chemical companies like DuPont, and your good friend Tennant, which is the farmer, the victim farmer, asks you for the help to sue against the DuPont, will you take the case or not? Anybody need more time?
So team 2, if you guys feel that like in order to encourage everybody to participate, feel free to cold call people if you think they haven't like really been very active until now. Yeah. Because we really need active participation from everybody here.
Okay, I assume everyone would have responded to the question. Let's see the results. Seems like yes has nowhere. Okay. I was going to say we are missing one people, but it's all good now.
Okay. Song Yan.
I actually yes, because I think it's a good way to help my good friend, and it's for my own moral objective, and also, and besides it's a challenge, and I think it's very exciting.
Okay, anyone else want to?
First step is that in the passage of the law, should that to be the lessons and the chemical substitutes the DuPont company used is affect more than 70,000 people in the country. So I think the law should take this to our.
Okay, that sounds reasonable, but what about your firm? So you know that DuPont is a big client for your company. How will you how do you think about that part?
Actually, the company supported the law to sue the DuPont company.
Can you please be loud?
Actually, in the passage,
I still can't hear, so I'm so sorry, but you have to be loud.
in this case, the law firm support the law to sue the DuPont company
Yeah.
because they do the racing, so I don't think it's a problem.
Yeah, but at the moment that the Deloitte make the decision, he want to know that, and the company's support is actually added in a later time. So at the time he make decision, he want to know this. But it's good to keep that in mind.
I just have a question. So, am I already the lawyer for DuPont or not?
What do you mean by already?
You said I am in a law firm that representing DuPont, right?
So like DuPont has previous business with us, or is a big court client for the law firm.
Okay, so DuPont is already the client of my law firm, so I already took the case.
The firm took case for DuPont before, but not on this specific case.
Not sure.
Like the firm worked for DuPont before, but for these specific cases, like for this chemical components case, this law firm has nothing to do with DuPont.
Okay.
Yes, Ashish.
How is this related to social conscience and this company?
You will see after 5 questions.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so let's move on to the next one. After you take the case, DuPont releases a report stating that the reason the cows dies is that the farmer did not know how to raise them. You don't have any evidence to contradict the report. Will you continue on this case or not? Anyone needs more time? We are still missing some people. One more. I think we are missing one people. So, anyone wants to share the opinion? Yes.
I don't know how they make that come from any evidence, but I think if the lawyer in this case they believe that DuPont didn't DuPont just make a false announcement, they could just to do the on-site investigation and to find out the real solution if they think this is typical and I think the law could find some evidence.
So you're voting for yes?
Yes.
Right? Okay, Ashish?
I voted for yes as well, and I think that's because it's true that he might not have any evidence to contradict it, and that's why he needs to investigate it.
Okay.
I voted for yes as well, because I think, because if you take the case, you have to go through it. It's your job,
Okay.
right?
Can we hear from some no people? Anyone can give some maybe your thoughts or your own explanation on why you don't want to continue on this case? No one? Okay, so actually we had some assumptions for the no group. So, because we all read the whole essay and we know that the lawyer at the very beginning stage is working on himself only, and he's against the DuPont, which is a very, very big chemistry company. So it's really hard for one person to fight against a giant corporation. So it's understandable to vote no here. So, but let's see the next scenario. After 4 years, the lawyer writes a public letter that reveals the chemical company is actually releasing some harmful chemical components to the environment, and that letter leads to money compensation, which is less than 2% of profits earned by this company. If you are Deloitte's lawyer, do you satisfy with the results or not?
Yeah, 4 years later, you got some solid evidence. So the juvenile is here, and the judge, and you win the case. So and juvenile is fine, but the fine is less than 2% of the profit. So would you satisfy with it? Or would you like to file?
Anyone needs more time? Okay, we'll just go ahead. Looks like we are missing a lot of people. So this could be a hard choice.
Okay, I voted yes, but it's sort of a conditional yes, because there's a lot of information I need to know before you're actually taking the deal. So so the compensation will go to people who are affected by DuPont, right? And so the amount, I need to know whether this amount would help those people who are affected, whether they can start a new life after using this compensation money or not. So that kind of depends on how much the 2% of profits actually is, and depends on the amount.
I voted for yes, so I voted for no. So sorry. So is there solid evidence for the PFOA? So if it is the evidence for the PFOA, so what I want is the company stop providing the PFOA, or because it is it has influenced not only the resident around them, but also the whole United States or the whole world. And I want the company to shut down the PFOA.
Okay.
I voted yes because as we see the DuPont company is actually a relatively large chemical company. I would say for compensation to those, I don't know, is the people from the village, 2%, it seems only 2%, but it is a huge amount of money to compensate. I think it's more than enough to compensate. But I would say if you were looking for a larger amount of compensation, that might probably affect the company's financial performance. And because it's a huge company, you might have different branches, not only in New Jersey, maybe around the world. If you're like letting the entire company to take the responsibility of a single branch, that means you are that probably affect the employees in other branches. Maybe they're going to be fired because the company can't afford so many positions.
Yeah, that's definitely a consideration.
I voted no, and the main reason for this is that it's not about the money. It's not about how much percent of the profits DuPont is giving. It is about providing relief to the people who have suffered because of DuPont. So it doesn't it might be too little or it might be too much. We don't know. So it's not about the money.
So you guys have 5 more minutes, so if you can just try to wrap up, you know.
Alright, so we are running short on time, so have to move on. And next scenario. So girls began to suffer from health and also family problem because of the long-term stress brought by the lawsuit, and there is still no progress of the scientific research related to this case. Will you continue to work on this case, or you just quit? That's a critical vote here. Wow. So looks like it finally won for one more vote. So can we hear from the quit people first?
Although like the social conscience is very important, but family is important to me as well. I try and I try hard. So like I need to protect my family as well. So that's why I quit.
What about the continuous side?
Because if we quit at this time, the company will like fear will suffer the financial loss. So I think we should continue.
The very last question for the Mondays. So you are the lawyer and you win the class action lawsuits and gain reputation. Your first client starts to get rewards from DuPont, but DuPont appeal for fights each case individually. That's my until 2080s. So will you continue to follow the case or not? Which means here that you could not finish all those cases even all your lifetime. Will you still continue on the serial cases or not?
If you choose no, you may leave it to other lawyers. Oh yeah, another
Waiting for 3 more people. Okay, so let's start from the yes side. Anyone from the yes campaign?
Yeah. I think we should still continue to fight because these people are facing problems that need to be solved. So even if it's not possible to help all of them, he could definitely help a couple of them or more. So I think we should still continue fighting.
Okay, and what about the no side?
I chose for no because I already have health problem. So the earlier I pass the case to others, the earlier they can, the better they can get control on this case.
Okay. So we actually dropped a chat for the 5 results for the DuPont cases, and it's kind of interesting here because these are the number of people that voted for yes for all those 5 questions, and we organized those questions in a time manner, so that the informations we provide in each case are actually happened in a time sequence. And actually, from our previous assumption, we would assume a decline trend, because we think like with time increase, you can see more and more difficulties in this case, and you may drop your interest to join this case. However, we can say it's actually, yeah, it's mixed. Like it increased in the first and then declined and remained the same. So what do we want to say about this change process is it's actually a process reflecting the moral resilience, if you remember the reading for this week. So this is a good example of the moral resilience process. So with the time goes by, you are considering more and more elements into this case. As we know, social conscious includes so many different elements. So you are thinking about maybe your own career and the company's social responsibility and the case, the pollution's social influence, or like the victim's life, elements like this. And your decision also changes throughout, changes with adding all those elements. Okay, that's all for our discussion. Any questions?
Okay, just one interesting takeaway, because question number 4 is where actually the family issues start to get involved. So basically, it means like when family issues start to getting involved, getting in the way of fighting big evil corporations, people start to back away and like taking more self-interest other than helping others or doing the heroic actions, trying to help everyone else. So that's just like an interesting insight of this.
Yeah. Any other questions or comments?
Great, thank you. So now, if you guys can just, like within your teams, just work on the AAR for team 2, and if they can, like if each team can provide feedback to the team 2 and post it on Blackboard. And I hope you guys remember that you also have to just submit your critical reflection post, which is due at 12 AM tonight. But you have time for that. That should not be a problem. And the team 2 basically also has to upload all the materials that they have used on Blackboard.
Yeah. For the pool one, do we only give out the results? Only questions or question with results?
The results would be better.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll try.
And also, like each team also has to submit the summary of the live case as well. So if you can do that after class, that's fine. But just try to have a discussion around all the thoughts that you discussed today.
Oh, sorry.
So we don't have to do that because last week teams they do the debrief.
There is a Simon session.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we should ask.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You guys can.
you can put it in the Google Docs, right? But you all can see.
Just one sentence. You can look at it right now.
No. Yeah, so we just had our experiment for the last class. We are not in the class.
Okay, sure, just post it.
Yeah, just post it.
So which group should post the timber? Because on Blackboard we
So it's different from last time. Because last time team 6 students.
Yeah, so this time like all teams have to like submit that.
Oh, all teams. Yeah, but the proof is different from the team critics, right?
Yeah.
So which group is going to have the degrees?
Not all.
No, for this last session, we have group 6 to stand up to say the debriefing, right?
So we just tried that for one class, but I had a word with the professor and he was like that, like that's something that all teams should basically come up with.
Okay, so we just do our debriefing.
Yeah. And we are not going to discuss that in the class.
So the debrief is basically the same as the review. The presenting team that would be
You mean to say like?
I mean, we're supposed to do a review, a peer review about the presenting team, right?
Exactly. So that's basically the same thing. Right?
Same thing as the debrief.
Right. So guys, don't get confused. So the debrief and the team, like the team feedback and the debrief is basically the same thing. So don't get confused, and you don't have to do anything apart from that.
Oh, so it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's still morning. So maybe I'm supposed to wait my 10 card. Anyway, I wanted to thank you all for letting me sit in and participate in your class. I really appreciated the discussion and thank you for the participation. So my name is Bill Agresti. I'm available at agresti@jhu.edu. And I wanted to just offer a couple maybe summary, observations and encouragements. our moral capabilities really evolve, and I would ask you all to take ownership of cultivating your own moral capabilities through life. They're really developed through socialization, and that's what this lesson was about. That, yes, a lot of it depends on how we were brought up and what we start with, but please be open to the idea that through socializing with other people, it doesn't have to be hundreds of people, it can be one-on-one, it can be with small groups.